Here's my real wife, the rest can watch. Watch not because I owe you explanations, but because the world deserves to witness what real love looks like when it is untouched by fear, unshaken by noise, and unafraid of being known. This woman beside me isn't just someone I chose in a fleeting moment of romance. She is the one my soul recognized even before my eyes did. She's not part of a performance, nor a subject of rumor. She is the one who stood beside me in silence, when the world was too loud to hear my truth. I have watched people speculate, whisper, and create stories from shadows. I have listened as strangers tried to paint my life using words they didn't earn and tales they never lived. But today, I let them talk. I let them watch. Because while they hold onto illusions, I hold her hand. She is not hidden, not replaced, not temporary. She is the one. She is my real wife, the woman who walked into my life with nothing but truth and has never walked out, even when silence felt louder than promises. She didn't need titles to validate her worth. She didn't crave the spotlight to prove her place. She loved me in the quiet, in the waiting, in the places where most would have let go. And because of that, I owe her more than loyalty. I owe her my voice. So here I am, using the same voice that millions listen to, not for politics or poetry, but for love. Because this woman beside me deserves the world to see that her crown wasn't given. It was earned, soul by soul, moment by moment. They called others my queen because they wore dresses and smiled beside me, but those were passing images. Beautiful, yes, but fleeting. They filled headlines but not my heart. Only she, the woman who didn't care for cameras, found her way into the chambers of my being. She's not a placeholder. She's not the past. She's not a distraction. She's the one I'll wake up to long after the world has stopped watching. In her eyes, I see the storms she survived, the love she gave, and the patience she wrapped me in when I was still figuring out how to lead with both power and vulnerability. She didn't need a palace to be royal. Her presence alone commands respect. Her silence carried more truth than the world's loudest gossip. This is why I say again, without hesitation, here's my real wife, the rest can simply watch and learn what grace truly means. She knows me not as a public figure but as a man. A flawed, fierce, faithful man who tried to protect her even when words failed. She knows the weight of my crown and still sees the child inside me. The dreamer, the lover, the poet. With her, I am not Sheikh Hamdan the icon. I am just a soul craving peace, and she is my sanctuary. To those who doubted or dismissed her, watch closely. Watch how real love moves in silence and rises in truth. There were days I had to choose between duty and devotion. Between what the world expected and what my heart demanded. And each time, her name remained unshaken. Even when she stayed behind closed doors, she never left my prayers. Even when her presence was questioned, she never questioned my love. Her strength was quiet but unmatched, and today, I give her what she never asked for, recognition not for the world, but for the honor she carries effortlessly. Let no one confuse mystery with absence. She was never missing, just sacred. Our love wasn't a secret, it was protected. Hidden not out of shame, but out of reverence. You don't parade what is holy. You hold it close. You guard it. And now, as I hold her hand for the world to see, I do so knowing I'm still just scratching the surface of the depth she brings into my life. Here's my real wife, the one who stayed when others would have run. She didn't come with expectations. She came with understanding. She didn't demand thrones, she built them within me. And every time I looked at the world wondering where I belonged, her eyes reminded me. I belonged to her, with her, beside her. Not because tradition said so, but because love decided it long before we even spoke. I want the world to watch, yes, but not for entertainment. Watch so you learn the difference between a trend and a truth. There is beauty in simplicity, and she is living proof. She does not need to announce herself because her presence alone quiets every room. She doesn't chase approval because her worth was never based on applause. She loved me when I was uncertain, when I was torn, when I was distant. She waited, not out of weakness, but because her love knew that real things take time. Today, I stand with her, not because I must, but because I want nothing more. She is the woman I write poems about but rarely name. The one I dedicate sunsets to. The one I send prayers for in the deepest parts of the night. She is the peace I never thought I deserved, the wisdom I never sought but always needed. Her presence in my life is the definition of purpose. When the world wanted a story, she became my truth. When the world wanted drama, she offered calm. And now, the world will know her, exactly as she is. I have nothing to prove, yet I choose to speak. I have no one to impress, yet I declare this with pride. Let them say what they will. Let them dissect, debate, and deny. But love this real doesn't need permission to be celebrated. I waited long enough. And now, with her hand in mine, I am ready to live this love fully, loudly, and permanently. Here she is, my real wife. The rest can watch and wonder how silence could speak so loud. This is not just about love. This is about loyalty, legacy, and lasting truth. She is the woman I will grow old with. The one I will travel through every chapter with, from joy to struggle, from fame to quiet. She is the one who doesn't just understand my poetry, she is the poem. The one who walks beside me not for the world's gaze but for the depth of our bond. I don't need the world's approval when I have her trust. So to the world watching, take note. This is what commitment looks like. This is what devotion feels like. Here she is, my real wife. Unapologetically present. Eternally mine. And as I look into her eyes, I no longer care who believes or doubts. I only care that she knows, this love was always hers. And now, so is the world. She stood beside me long before the world even knew where my heart belonged. She didn't need a grand stage or a golden crown to feel like royalty. She wore her soul with pride, and that alone made her unforgettable.